And then, you know, in doing a lot of trade shows, my brother made up this little display for Matermac vacuum.
Oh, nice.
And so he had a muffler shop make this little pipe thing. We have a shop vac in here to provide the vacuum.
Yep.
Normally on the planter, you have a hose going from the row unit to the vacuum fan. And then, you know, has a little, you know, I think actually it's a 12-volt motor, so he has a car battery charger that of course converts 110 to 12 volt, and that's what powers that motor. And so, you know, he wanted to be able to show how, you know, this little sawtooth thing, that's your singulator, and you can move that away from the holes, over the holes. And there's a scale with numbers on this side. And so if you would leave that backed off too much, you would get doubles and triples. And then to show how forgiving vacuum, now, you know, there are different size holes depending on the crop. But we just picked a selection of seed that's rather large.
Yeah.
Sweet corn, popcorn, field corn, pumpkins, some different beans, maybe some peas. And so, you know, it's kind of fun to show at the show how forgiving vacuum is. You know, so we'll power this up here once. And you know, what people don't understand about vacuum, and you do this, they get it. So,
oh, yeah.
And I've actually had people say, before I show them that, they're like, is that magnetic? I'm like, there's no metal in seeds that I know of. It's vacuum, like your vacuum cleaner. And then you do that, and oh, I get it. But until you show them that, if they're not familiar with the system, and so, you know, I love to show a pumpkin seed because that shows you that vacuum doesn't care about the shape of the seed.
Yep.
You know, if you look at plate planters and plateless, it's good to have a uniform seed.
Right.
So yeah, you know, I like to, and so if I leave it backed off, you'll start getting doubles. So you lower that down till it's just kind of cutting the hole almost in half.
Oh yeah.
About number 4 is a good point. And so you'll see that it knocks. There I have a double, I might go one click lower. So your vacuum picks up at 7 o'clock. Say between 9 and 11, passes the singulator. 12 o'clock, you're singulated. 3 o'clock, the vacuum cuts off. It lets the seed fall down the tube.
Oh yeah. So what planter is this unit off of?
It's the Matermac. Same as that. That's the same meter.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Now we'll have 2 of these running side by side.
Yeah.
This is in the other one.
Oh yeah, that's real fine.
Cabbage seed. and people will say, oh, the other one isn't working. And it, you know, it's going along like this, but they can't see it. Oh. So I say, oh yeah, it's working. I come over and stick my hand under it, and then they have to look.
Even if you're digging around in the dirt, you can't find it. Oh yeah, those are tiny holes.
That's 0.8 millimeter, and this is 180 holes. So this is for planting really close.
Wow.
And I have 2 smaller than this. I have 0.6s and 0.5s. So your herbs and flowers,
yeah.
I mean, some of that stuff's like specks of dust. It'll singulate it.
Wow. Do you have to back the vacuum off a lot for that, or no? Because it just
you are controlling your vacuum with your throttle, and so there is a interplay between those two. That's true. I did have a guy one time with small seeds called, and he said, you know, I'm getting doubles all the time. And I said, well, what do you have your singulator set at? Because usually it's around number 4. And he says, oh, I have it down all the way at 1. And I'm like, you're not knocking every seed off the disc? What do you have your throttle at? Well, I've got it wide open. I said, back your throttle down to about 1,300 RPM, set it back at 4, and start there. You've got so much vacuum. It's just sucking the seeds around these teeth. And I said, yeah, there's a relationship there. Um, you know, so yeah, that corrected his problem. But yeah, when he said, "Oh, I've got it wide open," I was like, "Holy, no wonder you're not singulating." Uh, yeah, yeah.